what do we all want? We want to make more money in less time. And that's the beautiful thing that AI can do for us.
Yeah, the interesting part is it's funny because you're like, I think everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, but like I've done several recent talks about this recently, and I always do a vote because I want to get a better understanding of like the room that I'm talking to. And so I'll always ask, specifically we'll talk about ChatGPT first. Obviously there's a million other tools out there, but ChatGPT is kind of like the brush broad stroke tool that most people are familiar with, that's been most widely adopted. And everybody's like, I'll say, who's used ChatGPT? And then you get kind of like the half-assed hands, like, they're like kind of half up like this. And
like, I got to log in.
Yes. I think that's kind of, like most agents specifically have kind of stopped there. Like they logged in, they thought it was cool, they heard about it, and they're like, they mess around with one kind of crappy prompt and they go, this thing doesn't work. And then they log out. And so the joke that I like to make is like, it's you. It's like, oh, it's not you, it's me when we break up. Like, no, it's with AI. If you broke up with AI, I'm telling you right now, it's you. There is no it's you, it's me. Or it's not you, it's me. It's always you when it comes to AI, absolutely. And it's because people don't like to take the time to learn a new tool. And it seems so high tech and it seems like so futuristic. But one of the ways that I really like to describe this was like, when we were younger and we had that old dial-up, dial tone internet or whatever.
Yeah.
You were like, oh my gosh, like my parents can't even start this. Like they don't know anything about the computer. I got to teach them all sorts of shit. Right. And I'm like, okay, that was like for me, we'll say 2003. And I was like, oh my God, my parents don't know how to use a computer. Now, fast forward the clock by 20 years, the year is 2023. We have kids, or our generation has kids, and our kids are like, oh my God, my parents don't know how to use AI. Like we've just completely flipped the script. So if you were one of those kids where 20 or 30 years ago, you were like, oh my God, my parents don't know how to use computer, please understand that if you are not taking a little bit of time to learn AI, you are your parents 20 years.
Yeah. And here's the biggest thing is like, you see all these articles like, is AI going to replace us in the workplace? And, Are we all going to lose our job? But I think AI is just like a new iteration of every other technology, right? Like first they were like, is robotics going to, replace the line worker in factories? And it had to some extent, but now the people that get paid the most in factories are the ones that know how to operate or fix those robots, right? Yeah. That know how to interact and use those robots. And then it's the same with the internet. Everyone was like, oh, is the internet going to replace how everything? And it didn't. It just made our lives easier and better. Yeah. And for a period of time, the people who were making the most money were the people that knew how to leverage that the best. And then, it was it's just been the same over again and over again and over again. And I think this is just another iteration of, hey, we've got something new that's going to make our lives easier. It's going to give us our time back, which is what we all want. And it's actually, for those who learn it, it's going to give them the ability to make more money than they've ever made before in new ways. Absolutely. So I wouldn't be afraid of it. I would find someone who understands it more than you do, like Emma, and learn from them.